all there? I see half of it's all names. Am I boring
Hannah's in the
you?
waiting room if you can let her in.
Who?
Hannah, she got kicked out.
Kicked out. Are you following me? I feel like, it is very important, guys. Trust me. I'm just right now sharing you a key to open the door for our children. Okay, if you have anybody in your family members, you just try, experiment. I did a lot of experiment with my own children. It's a good experiment because it works and then they learn. Okay, this is because none of special education professors and teacher educators will mention about this. So this is more occupational therapist work. However, come on, how many times these children can have occupational therapy? Barely 30 minutes twice a week. But most of occupational therapists work on oversensitivity, accommodation classrooms, not to overwhelm, children. And it's not teaching, it's not education, it's not treatment. Okay, special education teachers, you guys have to work on this for these children. This is what I said about the sensory input stage. This is all we call it a sensory processing. I talked about sensory inputs, right? To receive information. This is a sensory input. They need arousal. You just have right now, this moment, if you know any child with autism, you could think about them. Arousal is a sensitivity, attention. This is a treatment. We're gonna work on this. This is education, diagnostic education. We're gonna work on this because anybody, let's say arousal and attention, think about lethargy. You're absent-minded. Most of the times you are absent-minded, lethargic. Your pretty much consciousness is not up, right? And here, right? However, something happened and then it gives you attention. And then what happens? You suddenly alert, right? Wake up and then see what's going on. Let's say you're very tired and drowsy or something going on, absent-minded, and then daydreaming. And then there are loud bell. And then you suddenly, and that means you are physically tense by that sensory input. Okay, that's attention, that's a waking up. That's why I said the consciousness. Once they wake up, that's a sensation. That means they know what's going on. Oh, there's a bell sound. Oh, somebody's out there. And then you walk out and then go check, right? That's a sensation. And then once it's a sensation, perception here means processing, information processing, real information. Like if somebody calls me, I answer, that's not meaningful, real knowledge and learning related. It's just instantly just sensory input and sensory output. So it's not much processing here. However, perception means it's a processing. Are you processing my information right now with the visual inputs and then my voice explanation? And then we have arousal here and attention here and attention. Any inputs move to perception. I explained this one in the beginning, right? You receive information, moved to brain, so we can process. This is processing. To go there, this process we need. Most of children, our children with disabilities, pretty much weak on this. So what do we do? That's why we need this, understand this. Why? It's not to wake them up and then straight up and then just have them just great motor functions. It's not. We are not focusing on this, their motor function revival. It's not that. Two, because I'm saying is these are pretty much why our children's brains unconscious slow down, not a lot, not receive information. That's what I'm saying. So what we're gonna do? My model, what I'm gonna do, here is motor development, body senses, motor functions. I shared here, right? What I'm gonna do, we are going to do, this is our remediation. So we're gonna start with the physical tension. As I said, you give physical tension and it wake them up, wake their consciousness up. So they are waking up. That means they are aware of the world, what's going on. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Physical tension, conscious awareness, and then made the body senses and functions. So it's a double dip. We work on this and then we're gonna have a double dip. What? Pretty much their consciousness, attention, and we're gonna all bring those, shape those, as well as their sensory-based motor function disorder will be shaped as well. Why? Because we're gonna use motor functions to give them tension. We give them tense, feel, more tension and more tension, sustain their attention, their consciousness. So bring them out to this world. Does it make sense? Not yet? These are basically, I studied a lot about what kind of physical activity we can do double dips. Wake them up, wake their consciousness up, and then their dyspraxia, postural disorder, we can shape both. That means their body functions, motor functions are very smart, getting smarter, very agility is up, and then physically they has more senses. That means their brains as well. Do you know many children, intellectual disabilities, ASC children, not children, later they grew up. However, they have a lot of accidents and die by accident. They fall and die. The people with good senses, motor senses, they just fall from the stairs. Still, they know how to quickly move their bodies not to hurt them much. It's just nature. It's a human animal instincts. How our children has a very dull those part. Okay, so you are yourself. It's you don't believe just your brain is that much sharp, and then from today you work on this sensory-based motor function. It's all you. I'm doing that myself. So keep up. I'm getting old. I'm getting older. That means my brain is getting older as well, right? So how much? That's what we need. So these are based our children because it's a human body functions, right? Body parts awareness. So let's see, leg and feet attached together. So pretty much it's a legs and then our two arms and hands. That's all about it, right? So leg, feet. What do we do with the leg and feet? And then what do we do? Arm and hands. And then leg, feet, arm, hands together. And then we add eyes. That means visual. So visual, spatial, motor. You heard about eye motor a lot, right? Eye motor. Many people talk about that, but not actually what that means. They never talked about it to educators. So eye, hand, motor, and then whole body. If you can do it, any children you know around your relatives, your niece, anyone, these creep, crawl, ask their parents if if their parents remember. Some children skip these two or either one. These children mostly not that have that sharp brains. Okay. When I did my therapy, I started with creeping and crawling. What is a creeping and crawling? It is a tummy crawling, tummy creeping, and bear walk. It's very important. You gotta do it. It's remember this, when you do this at home or just with anyone, especially the child, I really strongly encourage you guys, once you have your own classrooms, I really want you to have, just as a break, you do this. Ask your principal, just let you buy some gymnasium mat. So you have some, classroom space, and then you have those mat, and then you work with the children every single day, not just randomly do this and that. You have a plan because you have to shape. You work on one motion. Let's say you work on creeping. You gotta do creeping 2 months, 3 months, 4 months until the child very smartly move without difficulties. That's your shaping. In the beginning, you may do a few, and then further you extend the distance. Okay, bear walk is the same, especially you have some back problem, and then this bear walk is really, really good. You may have over your, pain. And when you do this, I encourage parents. I do parent, advice, do just, do parenting. I tell parents, because these are all parents can do it. You tell your student parents as well. So do parents, I tell them, do with the child until they are sweating, until they can sweat. That much you do. And these are the basic one. Make sure they sharply can do it. Walk. What do you walk? Oh, they can walk. And then it's a senses, right? So when you walk with a child, you do two things. You hold the child's hands, and then many children with autism, they would not hold the hand. However, you hold the child's hands, you walk, eventually you just show hand, and then child just grab your hand. Okay, initially you do hold their hands, but later you say hands, and then they hold your hand, and then you walk. And then some kids are so walk faster than you, some children are very behind you. Okay, so you pull, and then you matching speed. Eventually, the ending part, and you and your child walk side by side. Your children match your speed. So you intentionally kind of, power walking, and then they sense it, they follow you, and then you slow down, and then they slow down. That is all senses. It's not body senses. It's visual senses, right? So that much. So that means the child matching, that means the child consciously aware of what's going on. And then they match to teachers. So easily this. So I'm giving you this information. It's not just to memorize. You don't have any quizzes on this. It's just what you can study about. And these, using this, what kind of activities you can do with your children. It's fun because it's physical activities. Any nonverbal, any child, even severe disabilities can do this. You do it with a child, do it with a child. And you will see gradually, you do 1 year, 2 years, even 10 years. While you're working on, I know school children is very difficult, but personally, you have someone, your siblings or your just own child or anyone, you just steadily, you work on this. So mostly sensory-based motor functions and sensory processing and attention is these 4 parts. study about these 4 parts. I'm not gym person. My wish, I hope I have money so I can open special education gym. I can make many children very smart and with a real gym, like a gymnasium gym. So among the sports we have right now, the most close one to do work on this sensory-based motor function is yoga, Pilates, and then those are gymnastic. Those are very good. Okay, I cannot show you all these real, curriculums. I have curriculums. I cannot show you all, and then it takes another semester. However, I'm just giving you ideas. And this is the reason. And then you have the body part and function awareness, balance and movement, core strength and visual spatial motor coordination. And then you have lots of sports, jumping jack, and then just many different like balance beam walking and climbing the ladder, net climbing, right? You have so many out there. And then what do? Your part is you analyze each one, each move. Let's say jumping jack. It is very hard. If you don't trust me, once you are in the classroom with special ed kids, or you have any opportunities, jumping jack is a whole body movement. A lot of whole body senses they need. Even 1 foot standing, it's very hard. And then you just like taking turn, like this is skipping, they cannot do it. It's a lot of sense. So you don't trust me, and then you have any opportunity, you have children, little children, and even you believe these children, your church children, if you're a Sunday school teacher, you just go there and then just do it. You will see the child cannot follow you, cannot do it. And then you can suspect that they have somehow potentials. Right now, they looks like okay. However, their cognitive growing will be some point will stop. I didn't talk about those, comprehension part that much details, but most children stop reading books very slow down. In the beginning, they read. However, about 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and the middle school, most children slow down in reading. They don't enjoy anymore because we failed teaching them from perceptual to conceptual. Those moving on part, those understanding, inferential understanding, comprehension. We failed those part. Even middle school teachers, they should work on that. So how they can follow text. So contextually they read and they could get the answers, understand. So simply just 2nd grade, you can easily test. John ran to the bathroom. John ran to the bathroom. Why did John run to the bathroom? And then most of the children can say he needs a pee. However, some children, why did John run to the bathroom? And then some kids say, John ran to the bathroom. Just repeat what you said. Or they say bathroom. They connect that bathroom and then those urine, those activity, what bathroom is for, that's a function, right? So that's a comprehension. So anyway, coming back here, these are the pretty much what kind of activities you can do. This is my last slide. I'm not gonna go more. It looks like many of you are it's too much. It's already 4 o'clock. So these activities for chronological motor development is tummy, crawling, bear walk, plank. You didn't know that plank is a baby's really plank before they walk, stand up, sit down, how they babies do. That's a plank. Actually, before even, so you just just to check YouTube. There are so many clips. I watched so many clips because I forgot about my boys growing that young age. So when I studied this, it took me a year to straight this one and organize and just see all these connections, consciousness and attention. Especially children's selective attention, especially sustained attention, you can make those sustained attention through these tense-based physical activities. Any physical activities, students always just physically tense. I'm not saying psychological tension. Yes, psychological tension, and some parents are very against about it. It's not stress. Stress is not bad. It's just too much stress is bad. Stress make us to work, right? When you study, you have a stress, and then you have outcomes. Without stress, how can we work and finish any work? We don't have outcomes. It's just too much stress, and then you have anxiety, and then you have stress. That is really issues. However, physically, you always just lay back, lie down, not stand up much. Okay, so many activities you do with your own children. If you have a child, even smarter child, still physically always remember physical smartness and brain smartness go together. So all special education, you guys work should start with this sensory-based motor functions. Okay. I'm begging you. This is the answer. And if you have any brothers and sisters or your relatives' kids or your neighborhood kids, they are already middle schoolers and high schoolers and grown-ups, still it is very good. It is very good. It's just a matter of just like how much they can actively, like a young age, 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, you started working on this pretty much about 3-5 years, they could participate in general education classroom. Of course, we have to work on after this, and then next one is visual attention, next one visual perception, and all those. And if you are a CI student, cognitive impairment student, and then that's the part I'm gonna cover in my 429 class. I'm gonna go just check teach this part, but this is a classroom behavior management class. So this is the only class I can see other disability area students. So I'm just decided to share this one to give you. It doesn't matter how much information you have, still only your interest, your motivation, your intention, and you always seek, and then it will get your attention. Okay. So like, people, let's say just, somebody drink so much and then people warned that person, you're going to have, liver cancer, just you have to slow down. However, they don't until their liver really damaged and the doctor said, you have a liver cancer, and then hold their attention and then how to strengthen their liver. They study the study, right? So I really hope you guys not just a passive special education teacher and worry about how we can comfort our students in my classroom and then they can have a good days. I really, you guys become diagnostic educator. You see student always, your goal is not just having them and giving them good days. Your goals, as I named, cognitive potentials. Why did I say cognitive potentials? I believe every single child, no matter what right now currently their condition is, they have cognitive potentials. It's something blocked them, prohibited them. And then as a special education teacher's job is we open the door for them. We shape them because they naturally from age 0, while they are growing up to age 5, they could not develop those. So we have to, our job is we intentionally help them to develop it, continue. It is slow. It is already they are 5. We are going back to just like a toddler age. It's okay. It's better than they just live like that forever. Okay, we go back and then we work on and shape them, restart. You guys know it, you guys can do it. It's all about your mindset. That's why I keep asking, what is your perspective? So what is the insight? I keep asking that. Why? I'm just provoking you guys to switch your gears in thought, your beliefs. Okay, so any of you are coming here to special education to comfort the children, have just good days, you 100% trust just neurodiversity. So that is our job. We respect their diversity. We respect their disabilities. Have them just good life. If it's your goals, and then probably you just you can just brush off. However, my goal as a special educator, I'm training my teachers, my students to be a future teachers. I really hope my students think your perspectives on cognitive potentials, regardless any disabilities. As I said in the beginning, it does not matter they have learning disabilities, autism, and intellectual disabilities. All their origin is the same. They are all neurodevelopmental disabilities. They are all cognitive developmental disabilities. Just a way of showing outcome is just ASD, outcome is intellectual disability, outcome is learning disabilities. However, their ancestor is neurodevelopmental disability, and then their ancestor next one is cognitive developmental disabilities. Okay. Did I talk too much? So these are, I have, as I said, I really, wanted to